But did you see the dispatch photos of Jimin?
Don't start with dispatch photos of Jimin.
But did you see them though?
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's this
Dude, oh
one
my
where he
god.
looks so happy.
Yeah, no, there's this part where he's just your ego is playing, and someone who was like, so if you was to the right of the stage, they had a direct view of Jimin on stage on the left, and he was just like singing along to ego. He was doing the dance, and he remembered the choreo. It was so cute.
No, that's really cute. Hi, we are.
Noona talk.
I'm Zara, and I cannot believe that I got a live band version of one of my favorite Hobie tracks. Am I the
I'm
chosen
Sophia.
one?
Maybe. I'm Sophia, and let me tell you, watching Hobie Palooza isn't enough. I need it like injected in my veins. I need it tattooed on my forehead. I need it to like play in front of my eyes 24/7.
Can't believe you just quoted a Jonas Brothers song. We are Noona Talk, a podcast where we talk about K-pop, K-drama, K-culture, everything else that you need to know, especially if you're a Desi stan. We have weekly podcast episodes along with a reaction series that we do. So if you have anything that you want us to react to, remember to comment that and also subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram at Noona Talk, where we do a lot of fun content. There's a lot of you can find our podcast here on YouTube where you can see the video. But if you just want to listen to the audio where you're on the move, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcast, we are on Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, anywhere where podcasts are available.
And today, if you are not aware, you didn't read the title, we are talking about Hobie Palooza. We are talking about Lollapalooza, but
As a
we are
whole.
really just talking about Hobie Palooza because, yeah, it happened.
But before we can get into it, yeah, what's a poppin'?
What's poppin', guys?
So much, honestly, like I feel like we just haven't caught up, but so much has gone down in the past week itself, starting with Blackpink comeback confirmed.
That's insane. When I first saw it, I definitely thought it was like
Thought it was
fake
an
because
edit,
so many
yeah.
fakes have been going
And
around.
it's called Bond Pink, which just feels like something a fan would come up
Lazy. Like
with.
it just feels lazy.
Yeah, so they're having a comeback. They're doing a pre-release single in August. They're doing an album in September, and
September.
they're gonna start their world tour in October. Like just when it rains, it pours. That's what
Honest.
Blackpink is giving Blink. So congratulations for anyone who's waited for the years. 2 years? It's been 2 years. And speaking of comebacks, August is some like astrology number for
Muhurat
girl
nikla hai.
groups to
Muhurat
come
nikla
back.
hai. I'm telling
Muhurat
you.
nikla hai
Like
for,
revenge travel, we don't know her, but we know revenge comebacks.
and it's like big hitters. So Blackpink, of course, Twice is also having a comeback. If if you thought they didn't have enough comebacks within this year,
Honestly, is Twice not tired?
I don't know what they feed them at JYP. But SNSD Girls' Generation is having their seventh album and their 15th anniversary comeback. So
That's
that's
insane.
huge. It is. And IVE is having their first comeback after their debut. And like IVE have two songs. They had
11.
Love Dive and 11, and both like Love Dive is still winning at Gayo. So it's something to
But
look forward to.
they had a very spectacular debut.
It's doing great. Like they are the biggest contenders for Song of the Year, which is crazy because they are. Yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah. But so these are the comebacks that are expected, and the comebacks that have happened recently. Starting with our favorite one with Zico.
Man, that album EP blew me away. Nocturnal Animals, the way that that is my jam. Freak is so good. Like I think the
Mhm.
Freak challenge is also such a fun one. Like I'm very here for it.
Yeah.
Zico's EP blew me away. Like honestly.
Anyway, so what we have reacted to is Jackson's new song "Cruel," which is the second pre-release to the Magic Man EP, which is coming
And we
album.
finally have
Sorry.
a date for Magic Man's release, which is
Yeah,
next month. Very excited because I
very
think it's been
exciting.
teased for so long. I feel like I've seen that hashtag Magic Man on every post, every story for so long. And the fact that it's coming out
Seriously,
next month is so exciting.
it's finally happening. Another thing that finally happened is that Hwasa and Loco got back together on a track again after like 4 years since Don't. So have done two songs together. So Somebody is the main track and Lemon, which I love, is the second track, which doesn't have an MV, but they did do a live performance where Zico lay down on the floor while he rapped and there were like people dancing beside him. It was kind of incredible. And
Zico.
sorry, Loco. Close enough. And going away from comebacks, let's talk about non comebacks. If you've known the girl group Black Swan, which recently had its first Indian K pop member, Shreya, they just had two more people leave, which, yeah,
Dude, is honestly that group is cursed.
cursed.
Like 10 saal mein, they've had so many people leave and like so much controversy.
I think their entire lineup has changed completely at least twice or
That's
more.
great.
I'm not sure. Yeah. And so the two members who left are their only Korean members. So now they don't have any Korean members left. Yeah.
Wow. So they
But
have
they,
Chinese, Japanese, and sorry, Chinese, Brazilian, and Indian.
yeah, essentially. But they have
Wow.
been doing this YouTube series where people try, where different members try food from different countries. So I think instead of trying to make music, they should just like take the BuzzFeed lane and that'll actually work. And finally, we're going to talk about something that I was excited to talk about, which is a new hype girl group has come out. If you thought the
Eugene.
Seraphim, New Jeans, yeah. And if you thought the Seraphim was the only comeback from girl group debut from hype this year, it wasn't. It's
But
New
Le
Jeans.
Sserafim was hype versus New Jeans being adore,
No,
right?
so the Seraphim is Source, and
Oh.
Adore was initially just like a subsidiary with like it was supposed to be like Hybe General or whatever, but whatever they switched it up. But yeah, it's a really cool debut because they've completely done something different instead of giving introductions or having teasers. What they did was right off the bat, before knowing anything about any of the group members or anything, they just dropped a video for a song,
Hmm.
and then they dropped another song which had four versions for each member. So it was kind of you would remember the member's name, but it was still the song. And then they dropped another song which was like a chill B side with an
Oh, I didn't
MV.
realize there was a third song.
So the four, sorry, yeah, three MVs were dropped, and then yesterday was their official debut with another song. So the entire EP was dropped with. It's a visual album if you really think about it, because they had all MVs for all their four songs, and they have been going viral as like a lot because the songs are very non-traditional, K-pop songs are very
Hmm.
like chill R&B vibes. And also they have this album which is the album packaging is a bag, like those circular bags.
Yes, I am aware of circular bags.
Yeah, so the album package is a circular bag with the CD and the goodies inside, and that bag went viral in Korea. So the pre-orders like sold out, and now they're the highest pre-ordered girl group of this year. And they have their own app. It's called Phoning. It's got a their entire aesthetic is very Y2K. So it's this app where the members, it's kind of like Weavers, except you can't reply. It's just the members uploading stuff, and it's got a super MySpace kind of aesthetic. It's very cute to like to check out. So it's very
Nice.
throwbacky. I think at least for millennials, it's like it's something like, hey, we did that in our childhood. And ISAC is back, like the sports show.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So it happened, I think, 2, 3 days ago. And of course, a lot of fourth gen groups were there. No hype groups. Hype did not send because MBC beef, as we
Gana
do.
ladai.
Yeah, but there were a lot of Stray Kids and ITZY moments that went like super viral. They were having a lot of fun. And this one girl from Kepler shouting, she did this incredible like salsa performance. It was dance athletics was the category. And oh my god, like it was like watching that movie. What was the dance movie?
Take the lead.
Yeah, it was. And she wore this like, those tassely dresses which do a lot of like shimmer shimmer. And
Movement. Yeah.
it was very good. She
But
danced to
Stray
begging.
Kids and
Oh,
ITZY, like their like relationship is so nice. They
siblingly.
Yeah, they did like a maniac of like TikTok or Reel recently, and they uploaded it, and it was really cute. It was not like timing, like I'm like maniac happened so many months
Yeah.
ago, but like they did it abhi, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
But ISAC reminds me, and I feel like how did we go 14 minutes worth of recording without bringing this up? But Run is back. It's coming back, and I'm so happy. Like, I mean, with Soup and Run, the way that like my crops have been watered, my acne is gone. I mean, I am so happy. This I
Um,
don't think people understand how much like Run like makes
yeah,
them.
like every day we were talking, Zara would be like, "Run कब वापस आएगा? हमें बताया था, promise किया था उन्होंने run कब वापस आएगा?"
Yeah, it's gonna be a year since it went
Seven,
away.
10 months.
Yeah, I would have had a child during this time and taught it to watch Run.
Yeah, but
It's coming
yeah,
back.
Run is back. We will maybe talk about it. Do you want us to do an episode on Run? I think that'd be fun. Let us know
Oh yeah, like
if
a
that
top
would be something
five
we're interested
or
in.
like best moments of Run or something like that. We could do
Top
that.
10 Run betrayals.
I feel like there's a lot of those, but like our favorites.
And speaking of variety shows, Hype had their own like variety show with Napi D called The Game Caterers, which is very fun if you are interested in groups like TXT, 17, The Seraphim, Promise 9, and Hypen. They were all there. I think 17 members, only 7 of them were there because Jaga nahi thi. They did in the middle, like, were like, shit, sabko lana chahiye tha. Because they would get out, like, they would get eliminated sabse pehle. But it was super fun. Check it out. And just like one last thing, which is kind of sad ish, where
Thank you
Mark,
for that.
Jayon, and Johnny from NCT got COVID and they will have to sit out from their Japanese. I think they're having an event in Japan, like a
But they
fan meeting and a
just flew out.
performance. Yeah, yeah. They just flew out
Oh,
and they all got, 3 of them got confirmed
oh,
positives. So send in our love.
that's okay. I think it's time for us to get
Get
into it. Yeah,
into it. Yeah. First things first.
Lollapalooza, man. Lolla
Yeah,
Palooza.
Palooza.
Honestly, um, did
Lollapalooza
you,
with Zara almost like spent 2 lakh to go to, and I had to convince her not to. I was like, it's okay,
there'll
there
be
will be
more
more
concerts.
concerts. Yeah.
No, I was ready.
Mhm.
But did you watch TXT's performance? Let us know in the comments below because I didn't watch it live. I did watch like clips and things later. You watched it
Mhm.
live.
I watched it live. I watched it live on Weavers, and let me tell you, Weavers was working very smoothly for TXT.
The dhoka. The
But
dhoka.
yeah,
TXT
I'm
was
honestly so
phenomenal.
proud. Yeah. And I was
Like
so
to
like
be young that age and to
budgy.
be able to perform like their I mean of course it helps that their music is so good,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be able to embody it. Like it's so easy to
Yeah.
go out there and be flat, but
Mm-hmm.
they did such a brilliant job. I'm so happy. Like it was
Yeah.
such a joy to watch them. And also Bomgyu is 100% wearing an outfit that I have in my cupboard right now.
Hey, your outfit's kind of similar to what Hobie also wore. Zara Lollapalooza next year, 2023. Headliner. First Indian soloist.
Yeah, and I go there and I don't sing, I just talk.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so proud. I think बचपन से उनको देखा है, like grow, seen them grow since 2019, I must say. And the fact that they haven't been able to perform for the first 2 years of their career, I think, to go from there to look do their first world tour and America tour, whatever, American leg of world tour,
North
and
America.
huh, and then just go do a festival because festivals are not easy and they did not have backup dancers or anything. It was just the 5 of them, and yeah, it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. It was they used their band songs, like all of them, which I
And
think
there
was
was
a
a
great
very
call.
smart set list.
Yeah, setlist was. I have one complaint. Like there
I'm
was no cat and dog. There has been no cat and dog for the past for their entire tour, and I'm not happy about it. Kind of, and they've been performing like smaller state, like they've been doing theaters actually. So they've been doing like 2 to 5K crowds, and this
Hmm.
was it was much bigger, and yeah, they nailed it.
And like Bang PD with his jorts and crocs.
That was cute, and Jimin and Hobie were also there. It was
And Slow Rabbit was
supporting.
there.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
really
Hype stuff is like हम आएंगे देखने के लिए. So who was your like? Did you have a standout performance?
a standout performance. I hadn't seen Frost until you told me. You like when we were discussing it, you said, "Oh, Frost was an incredible performance."
Live, yeah,
So I
Frost.
went back to watch it, and
Mhm.
oh,
Like the
um,
demon that enters TXT the minute the beginning notes
I'm
of
so
Frost
shy.
plays. Yeah. Agree. For me, it was Thursday's Child Has Far to Go because they did an OT5 version of it at the end, and it's such a nice track to kind of end on, which they did,
Which I
and they
didn't
just
expect.
like went wild, like they were like throwing their heads around, and it was so much fun. I like that song of the EP, but I think after watching it live and especially at Lola, it was so much more fun and incredible. And I saw a lot, like I follow a lot of armies who were just watching it online and stuff, and people were like, "We haven't heard this song. What's this song? What's this song?" So it was definitely
I feel
something.
like its impact in the album wasn't as hard, but to watch it live was a
Hmm.
different experience.
Especially because it was OT5, it definitely adds
Yeah,
a lot to it. And just it's such a pop punk kind of song. If you've grown up on that kind of music, you definitely would like it. For me, it was of course Yeonjun. Yeonjun, my favorite performer off of TXT, but also Taeyeon. I think Taeyeon in the past year, since I Know I Love You, like love song, he has like the confidence he has developed in his voice has is kind of projected in his stage performance as well, and he's just so he owns it. It's very nice to see where he's just like in his zone. He's singing, he doesn't care. Like it's so heartwarming, and like I support it.
now for the main event.
Ta-ta-ta-da. आधा
Man, I
घंटा
did
ऐसे ही
not
हो गया.
sleep the night before. I swear. I did not sleep the night before. I was so worried that I wouldn't wake up in time. And it, like, the set got extended only by 10
It
minutes,
got
but still.
10 minutes, yeah, pre-planned.
Yeah,
Because
but
they
it
couldn't
was.
go overtime, and
Hmm.
the what organizers thought that the fan was so enthusiastic that they deserve a bit of extra time.
Which is true. I wish the
Grateful.
organizers would have also realized that they need to add more servers to their live stream because so many of us would be watching.
That was a Weavers issue, not a
Hulu issue.
Hulu was smooth. So
Oh,
because they were going off of the Hulu stream to the Weaver stream, that's what a lot of people are saying. Because the bandwidth transfer is an issue, so that's why it could be. But of course, like there
they
were
should have prepared.
14, there were 14 million people watching on
They
Weavers.
should have
Like
prepared for that. Like, honestly, this was such a
I feel
expected.
like, I no, because I'll tell you what. Whenever there are live performances or premieres or whatever, there are up to 2 to 3 million people usually for these kind of things for Bangtan. Like from what I have
Feels like
like
a low number.
when it's premiering, because everyone has different time zones and stuff, right? So people like kind of stagger.
But this wasn't something that people could have come back to watch, right?
Sure,
Like, this
sure,
was
but
really.
they would have अगर दो का लगा लो तुम छह भी कर लो, but this was like 14. You get it? Like I think it was a good thing that it didn't, even after kicking it us out, it brought us back again. But like you all need to work on this because
Mm. What a performance. Like, what a way to open up the idea of Bangtan performing solo. Like, it was. I have never said this. Like, we were discussing this before, but I have never said this about a set list. I've never said flawless. Like, it was such an amazing set list. Like, I've always walked away from concerts or performances saying, "Oh, I wish there was this," or like this was there.
louder
Oh,
than
I
Bombay.
miss. Where is it? But this time I was like, this has left me so like satiated.
Hmm. And it was just everything. Like it was so meticulous. Everything that Hobie has done with Jack in the Box has everything ties around, and there's no loose ends. And I think even with this, starting from like the stage performance, the stage setup, him popping out of the box at the beginning,
After playing intro,
yeah, yeah, and then more starts, and I think oh. I don't even know what to say because it was so incredible. Cy-
Okay.
Cy- Cypher verse, I don't know what it was, but there is a moment when his neck cramps up, okay, and he does this, he holds it, he sings like this, and then he just pops it back in.
But the point, you're right, he is such a performer, and
Performer.
everything was so curated in this, in terms of styling, in terms of how many dancers there would be on stage, what they
Mhm.
would do, the flow of the music, the fact that they used reflection as the changing point, like
Yeah, the
that.
mood, the
Yeah,
creation of mood, I think, was such
that
a
was incredible.
pivotal point. Seriously. And just how he, like, the songs, I mean, it's just a hobby thing, but like when the song is playing, he's embodying it through and through. Like when Bassline or Hansang or Arson is there, he is that crazy person on stage, just like throwing his head around and just like screeching into the mic. And when something like Chicken Noodle Soup or Dynamite is playing, he is the bright, bubbly,
Oh my god,
bouncy,
with
dancing
Dynamite.
hobby.
So unfortunately, I did like see it being spoiled on Twitter beforehand, and
Mhm.
I didn't think it was real. I thought somebody was just playing it, and
Yeah.
somebody recorded it, and I didn't believe it. And also, like this remix, like Tropical Remix, was
Yeah.
not something I saw
What a
coming.
genius idea, let me just say.
Honestly, like for a festival, it just makes so much sense. It's never
Yeah.
something I would have thought about. And for him to come out there with brand new choreography to do it alone,
Hmm.
and not even like technically sing the song because the entire audience
No,
was singing.
the flex of like making their Grammy nominated Billboard #1 song and just like he's like, you know the song, okay, sing. And everyone just sang. Like that is such a flex. Dude, how is this your first solo concert? Let's just call it a concert because that's a concert. There are concerts with shorter set lists.
Yeah, no, and it was really lovely to see. What was your favorite performance? You have to say one.
His no.
You have to.
That was the show, guys. Good to see you. Bye. I'll give you a top three. But no, before that, I just want to talk about like how
I mean, it's obvious. I started the show by saying this Hansang live version, like with the band. Like, how was it a rock Hansang? Like, how, what?
it
Um,
worked. And like
Hansang is
he
one of,
didn't even sing most of it because everyone was singing, and you could see the change in the energy of the audience when Han Sang started. It was just
yeah,
like,
no, and with the drums, it was so,
mm, that was
But no, Hansang's one
incredible.
of my favorite tracks anyway, and I was really, really, really hoping it was performed. This is not how I expected it to be performed, but I was blessed.
For me, I can't. I don't have a favorite because if I had to pick a favorite, I would say the part before music, like Black Hosok, was my favorite part. I think that entire length where he went from starting with more, going into bass
Full
line, and then
sign POP to arson was such
and
a strange
one not
transition.
one verse, Cipher Part One, like all of that, like that was like I was feeling I was literally just standing in my room just looking like this was me. It was incredible, and I really really liked his energy and just the mood he was so it was coming from the inside out. It was so personable and just it's something that Jimin said, and I think I agree. It was so high quality. Like it
Mm,
wasn't just somebody who stood there and sang it to someone who really felt and whatever he was feeling, he expressed, and it was very interactive. Like the audience, because armies are armies, but also Hobie just like the part in Arson where before the final breakdown, he tells everybody to get low. Like he ran up to the stage and did that. All of those little things, which maybe overall you wouldn't really notice, but those really add to the energy.
played his entire discography and it just flowed seamlessly, even though they're all very distinct pieces of work.
Yeah, and at different times, different styles. Yeah,
And yet, mark of a true
genius,
artist, God
genius.
amongst men. Man,
Seriously.
it was so good. It was such a good
It
performance.
was a religious experience. Like, I think I'm a changed person. Like before Hobie Palooza and after Hobie Palooza.
Yeah, it's BH and PH. No, what is P?
AH.
AH.
Post.
Post. That's what I meant. Thank you. Yeah. Is there anything you would have done, wanted different, done different, changed?
I wouldn't have changed anything. I would definitely like two things that I really missed out on. Okay, Airplane didn't get performed. I'm kind of sad about it because I really like that song. But I get it. It doesn't really fit into anywhere. But
Yeah.
the one thing that I would have loved, and Jimin also said this, where Blue Side, if he had sang
Hmm.
that, like the full version, even if
Yeah.
not the full version, just a part of it, I think that would have been cool. But it was fine like this. That's just like you can always want
There's
more.
always like nitpicking.
No, it's not nitpicking. But I just like you want more. Like why he could have done mic drop or whatever. Like, you
Yeah,
can always
yeah, yeah, of
ask for things.
course.
But I think what he did was,
Or
and
done
it
like a
was
medley of all of his cipher verses.
exactly. But he wanted to tell a story, his story, a certain way, and he did that, and it was just meticulous, I think. He just created this, and the thing that everyone was singing along to an unreleased, like unpromoted free mixtape from 2018, word for word in another language. That was it's like you when you think about it, it's a huge deal.
Insane. I feel like we know it because we've been doing this for a while. I feel like they didn't realize this, and when it happened live for Hobie, where everybody knew every word of what he
Yeah.
was saying, I think it hit him. He's like, "Whoa,
Yeah, that moment in Daydream when everyone sang Young, Wild and Free, and he was like, what? You
yeah,
know the words to my song. I also was reading someone I follow, and they had gone and they met, like they were in the VIP like GA plus arena, so they had more space. So they were like everyone was sitting around, and just random armies were just meeting each other. And they did this game where everyone like went around saying who their bias is, and then everyone would clap, and it was very
oh, it's like Bangtani Anonymous."
cute. I'm also glad because this was the first thing that they've done, like a Bangtan member has done since the hiatus announcement. And while we know that nothing's going to change, I think for them it was a big insecurity whether they will be able to maintain their
Retain the
fandom.
fans, yeah.
Yeah, will people still show up for them? And I there's no better proof
And this,
than
yeah.
this.
And what Jimin said in the V Live later, where he was like, "You've set the bar so high," is so true. Like, I mean, I
So
don't
true.
mean that the others can't meet it in a
Oh,
or anything. Like the
like Park
bar
Jimin.
to
So,
be a
so
part of.
someone said that where BTS are not a group, but they're a super group, and that's so true because every individual member is like a powerhouse in themselves. So,
Yeah, and they're so individualistic in their like artistic approach.
true.
Um, like on one hand, you know, Hobie's doing Jack in the Box. On the other hand, Jimin's dressed like Matrix but make it edgy. On the other hand, Tay is posting like blurry selfies. On the other hand, June is like out in art museums, and then like we don't know where John Jungkook is. What is he
And
doing?
Jin is shirtless.
What are Jungkook doing? I'm just like, what are y'all up to? Y'all are being very quiet.
You know who also is very quiet? P Dog.
No, he's on and audition every week. We see him all the
But
time
like वो
giggling
तो
away.
पुराना है वो पहले रिकॉर्ड किया था अभी क्या कर रहे हो Hmm. But
Exactly.
basically, if you have checked out Hobby Palooza, let us know how you felt about it. Are you able to get over it? Are you just in this zone where you can't escape? Like Hobby going, handsome with my tongue. Right?
Why would you do this? The way I have literally just constantly rewatched that performance.
Rewatch that. It's mm, top, top quality. But yeah,
Mm.
if you haven't checked it out, please, like, what are you doing in your life?
Honestly, go watch it. It's such a performance delight. Even if you didn't enjoy Jack in the Box, I think it's worth seeing to understand what Bangtan Solos can provide, I guess, can
Yeah. And it's
offer.
always great to see something live. Like Equal Sign for me, while it wasn't my favorite off of the album, after listening to it live at the IU video and now here, I think it's really climbing up for me in terms of favorites.
Yeah, like
So,
Daydream isn't one of my like top tracks at all, but I
but
love watching
after
it.
Hobie like stroked the mic stand
Yeah,
to
I was like,
Daydream.
But remember to like this video if you liked it, and I know you did like it. And also subscribe to our channel so that you can see more reactions and episodes coming every single week. Bad Decisions is coming out this week. If you haven't kept up with that, there may be a reaction coming.
And more
Bad
stuff, like all the comebacks, like Blackpink, SNSD, whatever's happening.
Oh,
If there's
obviously,
something,
yeah, that makes sense.
we will when it comes out. So,
Yeah, yeah.
if there is anything that you want us to react to, let us know because we'll do that. And until then, I was Sophia.
I was Zara. See you next week, or maybe sooner.